What's going on, guys? It's Gramps iOS. Before we get into today's video, go ahead and check out my Twitter. The link is down in the description below as well. I do post awesome clips, so I post a lot of content on my Twitter. So if you like what you see, go ahead and give that a follow. And so for today's video, we have two scrimmage games versus Singularity. The first match is a domination game on firing range, and the second match is a search and destroy game on standoff. And so it was pretty close on both matches, so you guys have a fun game to watch. And I dropped 30 kills in the domination match, which is pretty crazy because I'm using a sniper, and I kind of missed like point blank right there, my B, but pretty crazy to do with a sniper. Especially against a top tier team like Singularity. But so yeah, it's fun gameplay for y'all to watch, and we got some things to talk about for today's video. And the first thing we're going to talk about is the new update that's going to be coming out, I believe, on the 26th. And then after that, we also have esports to talk about, and the COD Mobile Championship, which is pretty crazy to think about. So, but right now, we're going to talk about the new update that's coming out, and there's a whole bunch of stuff coming out in that update. But what's important, there's a lot of cool stuff for comp, which we'll get into. But first things first, I want to show you guys something that I think is pretty cool, and I think maybe not many people will consider. But so the practice mode versus AI is basically just bots, but I think this is going to be a really good way to train your aim. So basically, when I played Forward Assault, I used bots a lot to train my aim, and it worked out really well for me. So I'm actually really stoked that the bots in COD Mobile, they're changing it in a way so like it used to be where you and other people online would play against bots, so it's like you and other real people versus bots. But now they're changing it so it's just you and bots on your team versus a team full of bots. So basically you're going to be the only online player in the match versus bots. So I think that's going to be really nice, because that's exactly how Forward Assault was. And also, this is just an example of COD Mobile's like terrible spawns. I spawned literally in their spawn, and right as I'm about to shoot this guy, oh yes, about to line it up, Lil B comes and knifes me. Anyway, so I thought that was really funny. I had to leave that in here. But anyway, so I think that's really cool that they're changing the bots, and could be useful, especially with training aim and stuff. Just going through mechanics, I think, could be really beneficial. And just another thing I noticed on this little screenshot is the sniper only mode is going to be changed to the default scope, so I think that's going to be really fun to mess around with. I like sniping, obviously, so I think just like messing around with the sniper only mode with the normal scopes is going to be pretty fun. And as you can see, we're going to head to the next screenshot up here. But so the next thing is the weapon balances, and this is the update that the community has really been asking for as far as updates. That was a nice little clip. The S36 is finally getting a nerf, and so it's going to have reduced stability and more horizontal recoil. So I think that's going to really help the game, especially ranked, that's going to be a lot harder to control. And we all know that there's a whole bunch of people that abuse the S36 in ranked, and it's just terrible and really not fun to play against. So it's going to be nice that it's going to take a little bit more skill. And this is also, I think I wallbanged this guy, or like through the wall. Oh no, I get a hit marker. We still get him off B. Unfortunately, they took B really quickly. Anyway, and going to the next thing, so it's reduced mobility for the LMG while shooting. So that means players aren't going to be able to strafe really fast with an LMG, which I think is going to be really nice. So they're going to be an easier target to hit while they're walking and shooting. And again, this is just to balance out the LMGs in the game. As everyone pretty much knows, they're pretty overpowered in the game right now, so it's nice to see Tencent listening to the community. So the next gun after that is going to be the MSMC, and they reduce the stability and damage in close range. So the MSMC is, I kind of agree and kind of don't. So the MSMC is the best submachine gun in the game right now, and its close range ability and the close range time to kill is just insanely fast. So it's just absolutely a beast of a gun, and I think sometimes it is almost too fast. So I can kind of see why they're going to limit the close range damage, but at the same time, it's a terrible gun from medium to long range. So if they're going to nerf the close range damage, I think the MSMC this is going to really hurt it, and I don't think it's going to be viable in rank and comp anymore. Also, that hit marker hurt me. Anyway, so I think the MSMC is going to be pretty terrible after this update. So Type 25 is going to have reduced close range damage, and this one I don't really agree with, because I think the Type 25 is fine the way it is. I get that it's supposed to be an AR, but it's a fast firing one, so I mean, it's going to have great up close damage anyway, so I don't really agree with that one. So that kind of sucks for the type. It seems that the fast firing guns are all kind of getting nerfed. So the next thing up is that all of the snipers are getting nerfed, which sucks because I'm a sniper. But so basically you're gonna have increased flinch while being shot at. So I'm hoping that the hardened perk, I think that's what it's called, I can't remember exactly, or toughness. It's the perk, I think, in your second slot that reduces flinch. That's going to be really important for snipers now, because it's really hard to hit a person when you're getting shot at, because that flinch is very tough to deal with. And if they're going to buff it, or if they're going to nerf the recoil, or buff the flinch, then it's going to be a lot harder for snipers to fire back when we're getting shot off, which makes we might have to slide around instead of trying to return fire. So that's going to be interesting, and I'm not really looking forward to that, but we'll see how that goes. The next thing is a buff, and that's going to be for the ASM-10. So basically they're increasing the stability and the range, so the recoil should be a little bit better, and the range is going to be, it's going to have a lot farther range, so it's going to be a laser across map, I think. And the LK-24 is they decrease the range damage, so that's a little bit of a nerf. And then the BK-57 is buffed, and that's going to have an increased range damage, so it's going to help be a laser across the map. And so, oh, also, by the way, this is the Search and Destroy match on Standoff, and if you guys haven't noticed, basically I've cut the full scrim down. It's basically still the full scrim, but I've cut out boring rounds where I don't really get that many kills, or rounds that just, like, nothing really happens, so to make it better for you guys. Anyway, going back to the update list here. The next gun up is the ICR, and it's going to have increased range damage, and so basically that's also the same thing as the BK, so basically it's going to be a better gun at range. Also, this was a nice little wall bang. And then finally, the AK-47 in Man of War is increased stability, so again, the aiming is going to be a little bit better, maybe recoil is going to be easier to control with the AK, so I'm really excited to see those guns. I do like the ARs that have heavier damage and slow fire rate. I think those are really fun to use, and they're kind of lasers. Also, I like literally shot that guy one time. But I think that's going to be really fun to see, and exciting to see the changes in the comp scene. But yeah, so speaking of the comp scene, the COD Mobile Championship will be coming in 2020, so this is going to be kind of styled after Garena, which is the Asian version of COD Mobile, and they've already had developer-backed tournaments for like really big cash prizes and stuff, so this is going to be insane that this is finally happening to the other version of COD Mobile, so the North American and European version of COD Mobile. So it's finally getting its own esports and developer-backed esports plan, and it's going to be styled with a solo qualifiers starting out in April, and then it's going to be team. The rest of the team stuff is going to be from May out. So it's very exciting, and I know the North American comp scene and the European is just super stoked, and this is very big for the esports scene, so I'm very excited as well. So maybe there could be chances of possibly a LAN in the future now, but you know, with COVID going on, that's not going to be happening obviously for a very long time. But it's just very exciting to see COD Mobile kind of get towards inch ever so close to kind of how PUBG is supposed to be, or how PUBG's been going so far. But that's basically it for this video. I'm going to include links to the updates, patch notes, and all of that down in the description. So thank you guys very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next highlights and or commentary. And take it easy, guys. This was Gramps iOS.